Alrighty guys, it's your boy here, back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and we have the Datamines for Ascended Mareeta and more. So of course, like always, we got the stats for all the units. We have, of course, info for Salem, who's going to be our freebie unit for this round. We also have artwork for Salem, we got skill inheritance levels and skills for Salem as well, of course, so we're going to talk about all that. But just to change the pacing a bit of these videos, I guess we'll start with Hall of Forms for once. So the next round of Hall of Forms, we're going to have access to Baby Marth, Baby Merrick, Baby Kata, and then the female Chris. That's the 5-star exclusive Lance one. So pretty interesting round this time around, I would say. A little better than last time where we had nothing but the summer units from Moose Spell. But as far as which one of these units you would want to take with your Form of Soul, I wouldn't say use your Form of Soul on any of these guys unless, like, if you don't have a copy of any of them yet, they're not like that game-changing. Probably Merrick would be the best if you don't have any of them, because he's still pretty good for player phasing. But as far as like merges go, Marth, he is a demote hero, so you could be able to plus 10 Marth a little bit easier than the rest. Still, I don't know if I would recommend him. He has definitely been power crept a little bit. He still has Rapier, which is effective against armor and cav, and he's got Vantage as well. So his weapon is pretty good, but like stat-wise, he's not really the best anymore, and I'm pretty sure most people already plus 10'd him that were going to. So the Forma copy would just be for skills as opposed to getting a merge. Well, maybe there's some people out there that weren't able to plus 10 him and they still want to merge him. So in that case, I guess the Forma could be a good idea. There's not really the craziest skills you could get on him though, so I think actually Kata probably benefits the most from the skills in Hall of Forms, because you'd be able to give her our attack and defense near trace now, which low-key is better than her B skill. So Belief in Love, I think it just does attack and defense -5 to the foes, which is okay. At the time, it was totally understandable because Flyers had nothing in the B slot. But nowadays, you might as well just trade off 2 points of the stat decreases to attack and defense and just enable Kanto on this Kata. So I would say go for that. You'd also get Odd and Even Tempest on her as well from the C slot. So there's definitely some good choices for her. And even her A skill, like she comes with Distant Counter, you'd be able to give her the one that Brave Marth had that grants +5 speed and the chip damage. So definitely some good stuff for her. And I don't think too many people probably have her at +10 because she's just a 5-star exclusive. So I would say that's probably my choice, either Kata or Merrick, if you wanted to use your Form of Soul on any of these guys. But still, I would say this is another round of skip. Don't waste your Form of Soul here. Alright, let's go ahead and move on next to the stats for the new characters. We're going to start, of course, with Mareeta, because she is the shiny new Ascended Hero. So Mareeta's got 40 HP, 40 attack, 43 speed, 34 defense, and 25 res. And that gives her a BST of 182. And she's got super boons in attack and res. Very interesting. I'm shocked that they didn't give her one in speed, because you would think it would be a no-brainer, of course, with Mareeta. She's not even faster than the OG Mareeta. She has 43 base, while the other one had 42 base. But then this Mareeta doesn't have a super boon on speed, while the other one did. So they're basically like the same speed, which is a shock to me. I would have totally imagined her to have like maybe even base 44 speed with the super boon included. So a little shocking there. They gave her plus res instead, which I'm not sure why she needs that, but I guess we'll take it. And then plus attack, of course you want to go plus attack anyway, so despite not having the super boon and speed, you probably just want to go plus attack and plus speed with her ascended stats. So that would be my take on her. She is a good unit. She's just very boring and orthodox in what she does. Another infantry sword unit with null follow-up, damage reduction, and a 2-hit special, basically. So nothing too crazy with her. She is certainly very good, though, and very nice outfit. I like the thing on her chest there, like the Not this part of her chest. The part with the pendant there. That looks pretty rad. Kind of reminds me of like Castlevania almost, where the characters have a rosary on their neck. Pretty cool. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to galsus up next. Dark Blade of Ode, and the man doesn't have a perf weapon from Ode. So, not sure what they were thinking with that. Maybe they were thinking he's color sharing with Mareeta, so they didn't want to give us 2 good red units. But in that regard, we got the Hero Rises banner with 4 good green units. So I don't understand why they couldn't give this guy a perf. He's also a very fan favorite character as well, just like Mareeta. So they did this guy dirty, honestly. Either way, he's got 40 HP, 43 attack, 41 speed, 36 defense, and 22 res. So just like Mareeta, he's got the 182 BST. Sans the perf weapon. And he only has 1 super boon, which is in speed. So I guess that's fair. Although for a 5-star exclusive, he totally could have had something else. I don't know what they were thinking with this guy, honestly. He just seems like Surge Sparrow and Null Follow-Up fodder. Like, that's really it. Even his weapon, even though he has a new inheritable sword, it's just a rain sword. So -5 to speed and defense on foes in 2 spaces. That's not really that crazy for a weapon. So they totally could have made this guy so much better. Not sure why they didn't. Alright, so we got Karen up next. Sailor Mercury herself. Alright, so Karen is our demote character. So hopefully she's looking good for a demote. She's got 41 HP, 37 attack, 42 speed, 26 defense, and 31 res. For a BST of 177. Ah, man, I was hoping she might have had 181 just to separate her from, like, Tanith and Marcia and those guys that we got earlier. But nah, she's just basically more of the same. I believe she has a little bit better res than Marcia, whereas Marcia had more defense, but not really too special. If you already built Marcia, there's not really much point in building Karen. But overall, though, the sword, or I don't know why I said sword there. The demote flyers we recently got with Tanith, Marcia, and Karen, they do score 180 with the super boons, so that's okay. Alright, she's got super boons in attack, speed, and defense. The highest so far we've seen on the banner, which is kind of interesting. They decided to give all that love to the demote instead of the actual, like, 5-star exclusive guy right here that everyone was waiting on. Alright, regardless, Karen, she seems like an okay merge project, but again, like I said, if you built Marcia already, or you're building Tanith, there's not really much point in building her. And another Lance Flyer, we got enough of those. Okay, so the main event, we got August, who is actually probably the best unit on the banner, surprisingly. I kind of like him more than Mareeta because he's very unique. And then we also have the free unit that you guys are going to want to know about. So starting off with August, this guy, his art is so good, man. Suzuki Rika is one of the best artists in the game for sure. So we got 40 HP, 40 attack, 17 speed, 32 defense, and 43 res. We already knew a little of his stats from the trailer yesterday because they were shown, but just to read them off again, that gives him a 172 BST, and he's got a super boon in attack, which is fine. 40 attack and then plus attack, and he has Wrathful Staff built in. That's looking pretty good for August, honestly. And then his support effect with his weapon is just so good. Attack, defense, and res up 6. Guaranteed follow-up and negates the foe's follow-up. And special spiral at the start of every turn, by the way. It's not only at the start of the turn where you have lost an ally. It's every single turn after you have lost an ally. This guy's support partner is going to be getting -2 special cooldown. So a very powerful support staff on him. It only really works in summoner duels because you have to have an ally died in battle to get the rest of his effects. Otherwise, it's only giving the guaranteed follow-up and the attack, defense, and res up 6. But I totally think the -2 special cooldown charge is the most powerful of his effects, because the guaranteed follow-up and the negation of foe's follow-up could be blocked by null follow-up. So the stat bonuses are really good, and the -2 cooldown is really good. And unfortunately, the latter half of his effect is gated behind having a unit die. So Summoner Duels is where you're going to get the most out of him, and he seems really clutch, man. He also has even recovery out of the box. He has Nudge. You could give him Restore as well, so he can mess with Reeve in Summoner Duel. Reeve is really nice for shutting down units that gain bonus movement. And if you got Odd Recovery or Even Recovery, coupled with Restore, you can pretty much negate status effects in Summoner Duels. You can recover HP on units that have taken chip damage from AoE specials. So August is legit, man. This guy is really good. And finally, we have Salem, who is a Tome Grand Hero Battle unit. 10 guesses what color he is, right? I mean, it's a Grand Hero Battle. It's a Tome character. I mean, who knows? Maybe he's colorless, but no. Of course, he has to be red, right? So BST is 171. We got his stats here: 41 HP, 38 attack, 36 speed, 18 defense, and 38 res. Just instantly, who does this remind you guys of? How about Peleus, right? Good attack, good res, throwaway defense, and decent speed. That's like every Red Tome Grand Hero Battle unit in the past, I don't know, like 6 months that they've been giving us these guys. So big RIP. He also has no super boons either, which is kind of dumb. I don't know why they couldn't at least give him plus attack, but I mean, there you guys go, Salem. At least his artwork is pretty nice. So we can take a look at his art here. Pretty good neutral art. And then his attack art, I do like the pose that he's got there with the like hair flowing in the wind, and then he's got these blazing flames coming out of his attack. So pretty cool. And then his damaged art there. So not too bad from Salem, as far as art is concerned anyway. Just wish he was a lot better. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at the skill inheritance levels here. So Karen's got attack and defense form 3 at 4-star, which is nice, I guess. I'd definitely take that as her 4-star skill over Drive Attack 2, which is already 4-star available from Echidna. Alright, then we have the weapon and the skills for Salem. So he has Rower Vulture Plus, which is pretty dope, actually. So this is the Plegian Tome effect that we saw from Neem on the other banner. Neem's was colorless, though, so I don't know when we're going to start getting more colorless Tome freebies, or 4 stars and non-5 stars, but we have plenty of red Tome units in the game. So having access to a Plegian effect there is going to be really nice. Particularly Henriette, I think, is going to benefit from this a lot. Henriette's base Tome is pretty good, too. It does attack and res -5 to the foes and 4 HP healing after every attack she does. But the Plegian stat creep is so crazy that I could totally see this being the new go-to Tome for Henriette. If you're not running the effective against Cav Tome, that is. But still pretty good. Very nice weapon there. Alright, he has Glacies as well. That's his special. He's got attack and res push 3 at 4-star, which is nice to get more copies of that. We just recently got this. I believe Reeve had this. So it's like baffling why they would do it again. But I guess this guy is way more fodderable than Reeve. So I would rather kill off my copies of him than Reeves to get this skill on other units. And then he's got Sabotage Attack 3 at 5-star. No one really runs Sabotage skills unless it's like part of a perf skill effect or something like that. So not the craziest there. His weapon, though, definitely makes up for it. So at least they got one thing right with him. And that's pretty much all there is to talk about with these data mines. So let me know in the comments section down below what you guys think of all of this. Once again, I'm going to say the banner is a big skip. There's not really anything here of massive value. Probably August is the most valuable out of the batch because, like I said, he is the most unique in what he does. Whereas Mareeta, as good as she is being a shiny new Ascended hero, she's not really doing anything that strays from the norm. Just another sword infantry unit with crazy special, null follow-up, DR, and all that stuff. Maybe had they made her special base damage reduction, negate Deadeye, and lethality, then we'd be talking with her. But it doesn't, so big RIP there. Alright, but that's going to wrap it up for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the coverage, and I will catch y'all again on the flip side.